The sky hangs heavy and bruised, swirling with gray clouds that churn like a cauldron. Wind whips through the narrow streets, sending trash cans rolling and tree branches scraping against weathered storefronts. This is Mercy Point, population 8,000, a fishing town that's seen its share of storms, but never quite like this. Super. Hurricane Cassandra, Category 4. Super. Mercy Point, North Carolina, September 15th. We move through the chaos, residents boarding up windows, securing boats, loading cars with whatever they can carry. Emergency sirens wail in the distance. Marcus Hayes, 42, weathered hands and kind eyes, stands at his window watching the exodus. He's a man of simple means, a dock worker, a man who knows hard labor and harder times. His apartment is modest, a worn couch, fishing trophies from better days, and photographs of a woman and young girl, both deceased. A memorial candle flickers beside them. His phone buzzes, evacuation alert. He glances at it, then back at the photos. Marcus, quietly, not leaving you again. He turns away from the window and begins securing his home, taping windows, filling the bathtub with water, gathering flashlights and batteries. The ritual of someone who's chosen to stay. Rain begins, first as droplets, then sheets. Marcus steps outside, checking his truck is secured, when he hears it. A child's voice, crying. He stops, listening through the wind. There, between two buildings, huddled against a dumpster, a small figure. Marcus runs toward it. Marcus, hey. Hey, kid. It's a boy, no older than 6, soaked through, shivering violently. He wears a yellow raincoat, torn at the sleeve. His eyes are wide with terror. Marcus, CONT'd. Kneeling. What are you doing out here? Where are your parents? The boy doesn't answer, just clutches Marcus's arm with small, desperate fingers. Marcus looks around. The street is deserted now. Every window is dark or boarded. The wind screams. Marcus, CONT'd, okay. Okay, come on. We need to get inside. He scoops the boy up. The child buries his face in Marcus's shoulder. Marcus kicks the door shut behind them. The boy is trembling uncontrollably. Marcus wraps him in blankets, turns on the space heater, and kneels before him. Marcus, you're safe now. What's your name? Boy, barely audible, Elijah. Marcus, Elijah. That's a strong name. I'm Marcus. Can you tell me where your mom and dad are? Elijah, we were in the car. The water came so fast. Daddy told me to hold on, but the door opened, and I couldn't. His voice breaks. Tears stream down his face. Marcus's expression darkens, with understanding. Somewhere out there, in the rising floodwaters, this boy's parents fought to save him and lost. Marcus, gently, you did good, Elijah. You held on. You survived. And I promise you, I'm going to keep you safe until we find your family. Okay. Elijah nods, still shaking. Outside, the hurricane hits with full force. The building shudders. Windows rattle in their frames. The lights flicker, once, twice, then die. Darkness. Marcus clicks on a flashlight. Marcus, CONT'd, here we go. Just you and me and this storm. But I've been through worse. Elijah, you have. Marcus, sitting beside him, yeah. Lost my wife and daughter 7 years ago. Different kind of storm. The kind that happens inside you. But I learned something. You keep going. You keep fighting. Because that's what they'd want. Elijah looks at the photos on the mantle. Elijah, is that them? Marcus, yeah. Sarah and Emma. Emma was about your age. Elijah, she's pretty. Marcus, smiling sadly, she'd have liked you. The building groans. Something crashes outside. Maybe a tree. Maybe a roof. Marcus moves to the window, peers through the tape. The street is a river now. Debris flows past, furniture, signs, parts of houses. The water is rising. Marcus, CONT'd, we might need to go higher. Come on. Marcus leads Elijah up narrow stairs to the roof access. They emerge into the screaming wind and rain. The town is drowning below them. But from here, they can see lights in the distance, emergency services, maybe the National Guard. Marcus, shouting over wind, we'll wait it out up here if we have to. Elijah, terrified, I want my mom. Marcus, I know, buddy. I know. But right now, we've got each other. And that's going to be enough. He pulls Elijah close, shielding him from the wind. Hours pass. The storm rages. Marcus keeps Elijah talking about his favorite foods, his pet goldfish, his teacher at school. Anything to keep the boys' mind off the nightmare surrounding them. Finally, as dawn approaches, the wind begins to die. The rain lessens. The hurricane is passing. The devastation is biblical. Buildings collapsed, boats in the middle of streets, water still knee-deep in places. But the storm has passed. Marcus and Elijah descend from the roof. They wade through the water toward higher ground, where emergency vehicles are staging. Red Cross tents, ambulances, rescue workers moving with purpose. Marcus carries Elijah toward them. Marcus, we're going to find someone who can help locate your parents, okay? But before they reach the tents, a woman SCRAMS. Woman Elijah. A woman in her 30s, Rachel Torrance, breaks through the crowd, splashing through water, sobbing. Behind her, a man, David Torrance, follows, limping but alive. Rachel CONT'd, my baby. My baby. Elijah breaks from Marcus's arms and runs to them. The reunion is collision of bodies and tears. Rachel and David clutch their son, kissing his head, his face, sobbing with relief. Marcus stands back, watching, his own eyes wet. Rachel looks up at him. Rachel, you saved him. You saved our son. Marcus, shaking his head. He's a fighter. Saved himself. David, we were trapped in the car. The current took him. We thought we'd lost him. Rachel, what's your name? Marcus Hayes. Rachel, gripping his hands, Marcus Hayes. I'm never forgetting that name. Never. David, how can we repay you? Marcus, you don't need to. Just hold him tight. That's enough. Marcus turns to leave, but Rachel calls after him. Rachel, wait. Please, we need your address, your number. Something. Marcus hesitates, then gives them his information. They embrace once more, and Marcus walks away into the ruined town. Marcus is cleaning up the storm damage, sweeping water damage debris, sorting through what can be saved. The power is back on. The television plays news coverage of the hurricane's aftermath. A knock at the door. Marcus opens it to find David Torrance standing there, looking nervous. David, Marcus. I hope it's okay I stopped by. Marcus, of course. Come in. How's Elijah? David, he's good. Asking about you constantly. Rachel wanted me to bring you this. He hands Marcus a basket. Homemade food. A card. A photo of Elijah smiling. Marcus, touched. You didn't have to. David, actually, there's something else. Can I sit? Marcus, sure. They sit. David looks uncomfortable. David, CONT'd, I need to tell you something. About who we are. About who Elijah is. Marcus, confused, okay. David, my wife Rachel. Her maiden name is Torrance. But her family name, the one that matters, she's from the Lumbee Tribe. We both are. Elijah is Lumbee. Marcus, I don't understand what. David, the Lumbee are. We're one of the largest Native American tribes on the East Coast. 50,000 strong. And we have a history, Marcus. A history of protecting our own. Of standing together when one of us is threatened. David pauses, choosing his words carefully. David, CONT'd, in 1958, the Ku Klux Klan tried to hold a rally near our community. They wanted to intimidate us. But when they lit their cross, 500 armed Lumbee men and women emerged from the woods. They drove the Klan out, fired shots into the air, sent them running. It became known as the Battle of Hayes Pond. Marcus, I've heard of that. That was your people. David, that was us. And we haven't changed. When word spreads in our community that someone has helped one of our children, saved one of our children, especially a child of a prominent family, which Rachel's family is, the response is significant. Marcus, what do you mean? David, Rachel's father, is a tribal elder. Her brothers are community leaders. Word is already spreading about what you did, about how you risked your life, stayed in the hurricane, protected Elijah when you could have just called authorities and left. Marcus, I just did what anyone would. David, no. You didn't. Most people left. But you stayed. And then you protected him through the worst of it. David stands, moves to the window. David, CONT'd, the community is coming, Marcus. To thank you. To honor you. I wanted to warn you because when I say the community is coming, I mean, hundreds. Maybe more. Marcus, standing, wait, what? When? David tonight. They're gathering now. Marcus, David, I don't want a big thing. I just want. David, I know. But this isn't really about what you want. This is about who we are. About what it means to us when someone protects our children. You're about to learn something about the Lumbee that most people never see. David moves to the door, then turns back. David, CONT'd. They're coming to honor you, Marcus. Let them. He leaves. Marcus stands alone in his apartment, confused and anxious. Marcus has changed into clean clothes, though he feels foolish for it. He paces, checking his watch. Maybe David was exaggerating. Maybe it'll be a few people with a cake or something. Then he hears it. Drums. Distant at first, then growing louder. A rhythmic beating that seems to shake the air itself. Marcus moves to his window. His breath catches. Down the street, they come. Hundreds of people. The headlights of dozens of trucks and cars illuminate the night. But it's not just vehicles. People are walking, carrying torches, banners. At the front, tribal elders in traditional dress, carrying ceremonial staffs. Behind them, men and women, young and old, and everything from traditional regalia to jeans and t-shirts emblazoned with tribal symbols. The drums continue, several drummers keeping a powerful, steady rhythm. Marcus stands frozen at his window, unable to process what he's seeing. The procession stops in front of his building. 400 people, maybe more, filling the street. A knock at his door, this time, firm and ceremonial. Marcus opens it. Standing there is Thomas Torrance, 65, Rachel's father, a man of dignity and strength. Behind him, Rachel, David, and Elijah. Behind them, a wall of people extending down the stairs and out into the street. Thomas Marcus Hayes? Marcus, barely audible, yes. Thomas the First M. Thomas Torrance, elder of the Lumbee Tribe. This is my grandson whose life you saved. These are my people. We have come to honor you. Marcus, I don't know what to say. Thomas, then say nothing. Just listen. Thomas places his hand on Marcus's shoulder and guides him out of the apartment, down the stairs, into the street. The crowd parts, creating a path. Marcus walks through it, overwhelmed. Faces smile at him. Hands reach out to touch his shoulder, his arm. Gestures of respect and gratitude. They lead him to the center of the gathering, where a small platform has been erected. The drums stop. Thomas raises his hands. The crowd falls silent. Thomas' brothers and sisters. Family. We gather tonight as we have gathered for generations, to honor courage, to honor protection, to honor the sacred duty of caring for our children. Murmurs of agreement ripple through the crowd. Thomas, so indeed, 3 days ago, Hurricane Cassandra tried to take from us what is most precious. She tried to take this child. He gestures to Elijah, who stands beside his parents. Thomas, so indeed, but this man, Marcus Hayes, stood between the storm and this boy. He did not know Elijah. He did not know us. He knew only that a child needed help, and he gave everything he had to provide it. Thomas turns to Marcus. Thomas, so indeed, in our tradition, such an act creates a bond. You are no longer a stranger to us, Marcus Hayes. You are family. You are Lumbee. The crowd erupts, cheers, applause, war cries. The drums start again, thunderous. Rachel steps forward, carrying a blanket, beautifully woven, featuring tribal patterns. Rachel, this blanket was made by my grandmother. It has been in our family for 3 generations. We give it to you now, as a symbol of the warmth and protection you gave to our son. She drapes it over Marcus's shoulders. David steps forward next, carrying something wrapped in cloth. He unwraps it, a ceremonial knife in an ornate sheath. David, this knife belonged to my grandfather. He carried it at the Battle of Hayes Pond. He used it to defend our people. We give it to you now, as a symbol of the strength and courage you showed. He places it in Marcus's hands. One by one, others step forward. A hand-carved walking stick. A painting of a hurricane with a figure standing against it, protecting a small form. Baskets of food. Quilts. Jewelry. Photographs of community gatherings, with a space left for Marcus. Marcus's eyes fill with tears. Marcus, voice breaking, I didn't do anything special. Thomas, you did everything special. You showed us who you are. And we are showing you who we are. We are people who remember. We are people who honor. We are people who protect our protectors. Elijah breaks free from his parents and runs to Marcus, hugging his legs. Marcus kneels, embracing the boy. Elijah, whispering, "Thank you for keeping me safe." Marcus, whispering back, "Thank you for reminding me why we keep fighting." Thomas raises his voice again. "Thomas, from this night forward, Marcus Hayes, you are under the protection of the Lumbee Tribe. If you ever need us, for anything you call, and we will come. 400 tonight, but thousands if needed. This is our promise. This is our way." The crowd raises their fists, their voices joining in a traditional chant, words in Lumbee that Marcus doesn't understand but feels in his bones. It's a sound of solidarity, of strength, of unbreakable bonds. The ceremony continues. More speeches, traditional dances, singing. Food is shared. Stories are told. Marcus learns about the Battle of Hayes Pond, about the tribe's history of resistance and resilience, about their fight for federal recognition that continues to this day. A young woman approaches him, Maya 28, Rachel's cousin. "Maya, my daughter was lost once. For 6 hours. The entire tribe searched until we found her. That's who we are. We don't leave our children behind. We don't leave our own behind." "Marcus, but I'm not." Maya interrupting, "You are now." The crowd has finally dispersed, though several families stayed to help Marcus carry up the gifts. His apartment is transformed, blankets draped over furniture, baskets of food covering his counter, photographs and art filling the walls. He sits on his couch, exhausted, the ceremonial blanket still around his shoulders. A gentle knock. Rachel and David stand in the doorway, Elijah already asleep in David's arms. "Rachel, we wanted to say good night. And thank you again, not just for Elijah, but for tonight, for accepting us. Marcus, I should be thanking you. I haven't felt part of something in 7 years, since I lost them. Rachel, the community wants you to come to the reservation, to meet more families, to attend our gatherings. You don't have to decide now, but Marcus, I'd like that. I really would. David, good. Because Elijah wants you to teach him to fish. He won't stop talking about the trophies on your wall." Marcus laugh. The first real laugh in years. "Marcus, I can do that." They leave, and Marcus is alone again. But the apartment doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels alive with presence, with meaning. He walks to his memorial candle, lights it, and looks at the photos of Sarah and Emma. "Marcus, quietly, I know you'd have loved tonight. All those people. All that love. I've been hiding from the world for so long, thinking if I felt too much, if I connected too much, it would hurt like losing you hurt. But tonight I remembered, the hurt isn't the point. The love is the point. The fighting for each other is the point." He touches the photo gently. "Marcus, so indeed, I think I'm going to be okay now. I think I'm going to try again. Because that little boy reminded me of Emma. And all those people reminded me that we're not meant to face storms alone. A community gathering is in full swing. Hundreds of people, food, games, music. Marcus is there, no longer an outsider but a participant. He's teaching Elijah how to cast a fishing line into a pond. The boy squeals with delight when he gets a bite. Thomas Torrance approaches, smiling. "Thomas, you've become quite popular with the children. They call you Uncle Marcus now." Marcus, grinning, "I've heard. It's nice." "Thomas, the tribe is planning a formal adoption ceremony next month, to officially make you family in our traditional way. Will you accept?" Marcus looks around, at the families, the laughter, the children playing, Elijah proudly showing off his first caught fish. He looks at the blanket folded on a nearby bench, the one Rachel's grandmother made. He thinks of the 400 warriors who came to honor a stranger. He thinks of his daughter Emma, who would have loved all of this. He thinks of the man he was a month ago, alone, hiding, barely surviving. And he thinks of the man he's becoming, connected, purposeful, alive. Marcus, yes. I accept. Thomas, good. Because you already were family. This just makes it official. Elijah runs up, dragging Marcus toward the water. Elijah, come on, Uncle Marcus. I saw a bigger one. Marcus allows himself to be pulled away, laughing. As he walks, others call out greetings, include him in conversations. Treat him as they would any other member of the tribe, because that's what he is now. The storm tried to destroy, but in its wake, it brought connection. It brought family. It brought warriors who don't just fight battles with weapons, but with loyalty, with honor, with the sacred promise to protect those who protect their own. The Lumbee Tribe is the largest tribe east of the Mississippi River, with over 55,000 enrolled members. Despite their size and rich history, they are still fighting for full federal recognition. In 1958, armed Lumbee men and women drove the Ku Klux Klan out of Robeson County, North Carolina, in what became known as the Battle of Hayes Pond. The Klan never returned. This is a work of fiction, but it is inspired by the real strength, courage, and unity of the Lumbee people, who have always protected their own. For the protectors who stand in the storm, for the warriors who come when called, for the families we find when we need them most.